compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. If I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. If I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. And therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that is to say, to improve your mind, to improve your character, to be more efficient in life, you've got your eye on the future and you are not meditating. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to do with all that. It's a kind of digging the present. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now. The place where it's at is simply here and now. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now when you're doing this, don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand anything. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by, or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. It's all just sound. The place where it's at is simply here and now.
What is going on today, guys? Evan Aldo here. Why is my... Hold on a second. Why is it looking like... Oh, wait, 1 second here. What's going on with this? Oh, we have a mild... Oh, it's on the... What? That is weird, man. Okay, that's a little bit... That is bizarre. We got the... Sorry about that. Give me 1 second to fix this. To fix this mild issue here. Oh, wait, it's still... That is bizarre. It's got my labeling. Oh, now it's okay. Now it's better. That should... Okay. The labeling was completely... That was a weird OBS glitch. The labeling was saying the name of this monitor that I wanted to share with you guys, not the other monitor on my other screen. So apologies for that. That was the most bizarre issue I've seen in a long time on weird. Anyway, what's up, Eric? What's up, Chili Rainbow? So I'm not going to waste your time here, although I already did for a second. But ultimately, you know, it is kind of the moment of truth, because I think one of two things is going to happen here. Either, you know, all these ELXs, you know, look for sell exhaustion, money flow generally coming out is going to play out, up to 63.3 65K up to there, you know, potentially even hitting 64K, or you're going to nuke down and potentially hit that 57 mark. Now, what do I think the odds are here? A little tough to say. I would give a slight edge for the bullish case at the moment, though. Your VWAP's coming up on the 2-day. That would signify, you know, consolidation, sidewaysness, but your lower time frames look decent. Summer is normally a more ping pong time, so normally when you do hit the big areas, you tend to, you know, bounce off on the summer. I'm not saying you're coming up all the way back to, you know, 69K or nothing like that anytime soon. You might, but I don't think it's going to take time. But I mean, you may be a little bit more ping pong, maybe come up to here, 64, then bounce around some more. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, you know, right there. Things are looking a little bit better, I would argue. We'll see how this plays out in the weekly if we end up getting that trigger wave in a month or so, or a couple weeks maybe even. Moving on to ETH just a little bit here. So the big area, we jumped off of, you know, kind of that spiral line, almost hit this line at 3,200, didn't quite make it. If we were to lose this area right here, you'd probably mess around with that 3,200 mark, but I almost like the spiral line a little bit better here. When we look at, just trying to think here, money flow is kind of coming out. You got that point right there on the daily. When you look at, I mean, yeah, trigger wave kind of forming. When we look at some of this stuff, I mean, it's kind of like, she wants to come down more. Man, tough to kind of read this. I mean, that money flow is a little concerning there, especially on that 2-day. You know, looks on the 4-day, that looks bad. But then when you look at these lower time frames, not as bad. And it looks like you're trying to make higher lows here. So a little bit tough. I want to draw a, yeah. I mean, this general area I would say is pretty, maybe that wick, you know, around that wick. I want to draw something. Just give us a little something to go by here. So yeah, I mean, we're bouncing around that area. If we could break above it, that would be pretty good. You got the blood diamond on the 4-hour. Will that play out? Hard to say. I don't know. People have been saying crypto Twitter's bullish overall. I mean, yeah, I feel like crypto Twitter's always bullish at all wakes of life. You know what I mean? I don't know if like being bullish or bearish really means much on Twitter. Let's see. Oh, you got me on the TV. Okay. Cool. Appreciate you, Eric. So, yeah, ultimately we were looking at that. I mean, that 8-hour, because you got deep money flow starting to slightly, looks like it wants to come up a little bit. This, I mean, if you did it from the wick, this would be a bullish div. So I could see the possibility here. If we look at Solana, you know, just a few of these other ones, I mean, I guess for the bear case, you would be looking at especially with your probably trigger wave is forming on the, no, not quite on the 12, but 10-hour trigger wave. That's a pretty good bear case. Now, the thing here, that doesn't mean it's game over. That could signify something of this nature, which you do see a lot in the summer, the boringness. Then maybe you break up into July or something back up to 150, something like that. So not necessarily game over. I do kind of like I don't know what to make of the 3-day, pretty neutral. But, you know, when you have money flow, just to tell you guys, if you have money flow coming out and the VO coming up, usually that means more choppiness, neutral. However, you got to look at other time frames too. Blood diamonds there. I think one of two things is going to happen. I mean, I'm kind of thinking for Solana, you're going to come back down to 130, 129. I don't know if you're going to make a lower low, though. I don't know. If you look at AVAX as well, I guess a little bit of a similar situation if you were to lose this area based on some of these waves. But I do think you got, it's looking a little concerning there. It's almost like some of these altcoins will finally, you know, see the pain a little bit, but I don't know. You know, I do think there's a decent shot of continuing up a little bit more on AVAX, potentially up to these areas, 27. If you can't do that, that would show a more bearish market, obviously. Right there. Yeah, maybe a little bit more short-term bearishness I could see. But then on these time frames, not as bad. So that's what we're looking at there. I think there was something, CryptoFace was talking about the GDP or whatever. That's tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what to make of that. I mean, trigger wave on the SPY, hitting this big point. A little concerning, but, you know, it's the SPY. It always seems to save the day somehow and come back. That area right there. Oh, man. So that's that. And then if we look at let's just look at the NASDAQ briefly here, guys. I mean, trying to come up there a little bit. I would argue the NASDAQ's looked better, you know, continuing to kind of look better. Like, I'm not seeing the concerns I'm seeing on the S&P 500, which generally they obviously do follow. It's like Bitcoin and ETH, basically, very close. Trigger wave right there, potentially continuing forward. So I would argue that would generally be more in the bull case for crypto. I mean, if we look right here, you're kind of hitting this area, bouncing off, and I like that hourly. What kind of trade could you do with this right now? I mean, off of that VWAP, yeah, I kind of like, I mean, you could do some low risk, high reward thing like this, maybe a 2-to-1. I would probably be safer, go 1.5-to-1 or something like that. Maybe let out some more leeway there, like be more generous with it and try that. That could play out. Definitely could play out in one of these areas for they scalp to day long. I say day long almost because it's, you know, it's getting late and there's probably going to be a bit less volatility as the, you know, evening hours go on if you're on the East Coast, or, you know, even if you're not on the East Coast. And by the way, guys, if you want 1 free month in the Discord, if you sign up to any links down below for the exchanges, deposit at least $100 and open support ticket in the Discord, I will give you 1 free month. I also give away a $100 bonus on FAIRDESK every week to one lucky person to trade with. We announce the winners in the Discord. Excuse me, jeez. That's the winners in the Discord every week for that. And yeah, that's that. So if you're interested, check that out. What's up, Godzilla? And I will also, if you guys are interested in going to the Bitcoin conference, I'm telling you to do too much crap at the same time, but tickets for Bitcoin conference, the link down below. I think it's the second link down below, 10% off of my link. We're going to do a meetup while I am there. We'll probably do it with Paul Barron or something, so I'll let you guys know. I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah, trying to come up, trying to break. I think we may break above this point in the stream. And if we look at our VWAP here, I just want to look at the, yeah, VWAP trigger coming up to 34 or something. Leverage trading for taxes. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of them that are pretty, you know, cointracker.io is the one I've generally used. A lot of them are the same. I'm not an expert on which is the best one. But I've used cointracker.io. I'm not paid to talk about them. They've been decent, but I would have to do more. I did more research on it some time ago and like that one, but there could be other ones that are better. There's like Coinly. There's a lot of stuff. Danny Cole, what's up? T1 Rider. I was looking at this. I'll show you guys Tesla, leverage Tesla. Nice double bottom. I think you're going to get up to 12 at least here. 12 something. That's a big area. Nice jump up on this potentially 50% up. Let's actually look. Fetch.ai was looking decent. Yeah, I did jump off of there. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's like for a lot of these, that trigger wave is forming. I kind of do like how that's, you know, kind of looking potentially that, you know, into the election. I would argue that there's a strong possibility that July into November is going to be pretty good for traditional markets and for crypto. That's what I would argue. Between now and a couple weeks, that's where it gets a little bit harder to say. I do think Fetch has a good shot, down 60-something%. Good shot of potentially bottoming out here. It is an altcoin though, so yeah, be careful. But let me look at Helium. This really got obliterated. trying to fight back from that. So I wonder why this got so annihilated, but it does look pretty good in that 3-day. You know, there are some arguments to be made here. Helium versus versus Bitcoin is probably a complete nightmare. Well, actually, not as bad as somebody think. Right there, looking decent. So I don't know. It could be the biggest bull trap of all time for these, and this just breaks downward. But I do think some altcoins have a shot here. We could look at Ocean. That one hasn't been as topical lately. Really got kicked in the ass here. I mean, it's not one of, yeah, 70% down. I would say this one's a little bit riskier than the fetch.ai, but there's a good shot it could have a jump here if you kind of follow the general structure of where this is moving. Ajax. Geez, a lot of these AI coins look similar. I don't know. I mean, it got pummeled. Now you're trying to recover a bit. So, like some of these areas, like it's either prime real estate or you're just going to oblivion. That's where it gets a little bit hard to say. I'm curious about PayPay. Like the best recovering thing ever. If this could break above here, you're looking at toying with potentially a double top there, which kind of looks like it will do that, but we'll see. What is ASI? I don't. That's not. It's something else. Yeah. Let's see. Dogecoin 12 cents. That's like the big kind of like, it's a newer, like look at this wick right here on Doge. I would argue like if we're hitting, like it's make or break for a lot of this market, because you see this like big point, you can even move this up a little bit, but I mean, you know, the general kind of box that we're hitting, you know, you're either going to lose this area and come down to 9 cents, or you're going to be able to recover. And I mean, I don't know, you know, this is sort of scene of the crime where you would bounce off of. This is also a place where you could bounce off of. It's hard to kind of exactly say. But I do think that, you know, if you I kind of feel like it's going to happen by like the end of July that you hit this point if you are going to. Big time. That's a good one to look at. I'm curious what that's done. Okay, so that was your June fallback. Oh yeah, 18. So it's just gotten obliterated. I mean, if you bought it here in this April, you'd be down. Okay, not terribly bad. Not as bad as some may think. You know, this is kind of like the same thing as Zcash. Like, I don't know if I like, from what I've heard, the fundamentals on this are definitely not the best, but, you know, it's kind of all or nothing here. Maybe it'll come back. The other one, too, that's another one that's kind of, you know, there's a lot of things that look like big time, but, you know, it's like that. It's the question here is like, it's just like, you know, you got your monthly bull Dave, you got all the good stuff you wanted. Now you're just messing around. I mean, will you survive here, or will you make a lower low? That's the big question. I mean, for a lot of things, I think it's kind of a moment of truth right here. So yeah, be a man. Yeah. People have been talking about meme coins. I think it's always going to be some meme coins doing well. I mean, I don't know. Has anybody ever, like BG, have you made like a lot of money off of meme coins? Like, has anybody here made like life-changing wealth off of all these new meme coins? Like, I know people have done it with Shiba, Pepe, Doge, but like, I don't know, anything else where email? Oh. Interesting. The other thing, I just want to look at Zcash Bitcoin. How is that? Yeah, just in complete no man's land. I mean, maybe you could make the argument that we're getting there on that 2 week, but it's probably down 97%. I mean, will this ever come back against Bitcoin? I mean, maybe you could get up to here. Maybe you could jump up a couple 100% or something. I mean, we'll see. Matic, I definitely wanted to look at. You know, the thing we're trying to do is kind of, yeah, this one's not. A little bit concerning. Right there, though. This looks worse than some other things, I would argue. But, I mean, worse in the way where you're at this point. I don't know if you'll lose that point. You might, though. We'll definitely have to see. Let's see. Matic Bitcoin's starting to look a little bit better, slightly. It could be just a little jump, though. For some of these, it's a little bit. I mean, it is kind of a reverse head and shoulders. You would try to hopefully jump out of that. And if we do look at Bitcoin dominance, that is coming down a bit. I mean, there are people that would argue that we're going to just, continue what we've done and just come back up from every dip here. But eventually you're going to top out. And I mean, yeah. Other thing too, I know the treasuries have been up slightly, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, giving above that line. So yeah, up about 0.1% or something. Nothing too crazy. I would hope this is going to go down more, but who wants to pay high interest rates? But yeah. Curious if GameStop's done anything. Yeah, this is just becoming a snooze fest, which we'll see if we can hold here. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to lose that area. This one's probably going to be sideways for eternity. Looks pretty bad in the 12, though. 12 hour. Just want to see something else. Oh yeah, Amazon. Ooh, I didn't realize. Okay, new all-time high here. I think it is, right? That's been silent. You're probably going to hit 200, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's a 200, 220 potentially. Where could you get end of year? I would say at the high end by election, you could probably get to 220. Maybe even more. Who the hell knows? Well, let's see. From where we are right now, I'd be surprised if you're going up more than another like 15%. So we'll definitely have to see here. But I do think Tesla I like the most right now. I do think Tesla is probably the best bang for your buck. I do think that's going to come back up, continue to do well, or recover at least. Some of the like electric car ones. Neo, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of all or nothing on some of these. Unless they go bankrupt. I know BlackRock does own part of this one. Does have some stakes in this one. I mean, yeah, they're risky as hell, though. I mean, the thing is, too, like, could be entering a time-based capitulation now and then frickin' like PayPal. I mean, that's just done nothing and a half for like frickin' 2 years. I mean, just nothing happening. That weekly, though. I think that was, yeah, if you had PayPal versus like NASDAQ, you'd be missing out on so much. That's actually a good question, though. Because if you look here, oh my golly. Yeah, since the inception, wasn't PayPal public before this? Yeah, just since the inception of this, you've just completely, since 21, yeah, just nothing at all here. The monthly don't look good either. Jeez. Oh. Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard to say with it. This is like, I mean, I would assume, yeah, actually, even if Bitcoin does go up, it's still hard to freaking say what the hell's going to happen with Beercoin, man. That's a tough thing to kind of predict right now. What's going to happen with Beercoin? I don't know. Could be a decent gamble. You're just trading the double bottom if you're buying this. I mean, I don't know. I would argue that it's hard. Yeah, it's really hard to say on that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of meme coins people have talked about. People have always talked about meme coins. I mean, have any of you guys done very well with meme coins? I'm curious. Like, has anybody made a ton of money with meme coins here, or like crap like this? I mean, I don't know. Trying to think what else here. Cardano is always good to look at, I guess. That is yeah, that's a main bear case, trigger wave right there. I mean, main bull case, you got your 4 LXs. I mean, some exhaustion you'd look for here. Some green dots and crap on higher time frames. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. It might just be more boring. I mean, we'll see. How's that doing on that hourly? Down a bit. So this is interesting here. Some altcoins are starting to. I want to look at total 3 minus tether versus BTC. Getting the jump up. I guess many would argue that you're going to reject from probably like these points as looks like you might be doing almost, and coming back down to here. Now let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit of resistance. I mean, definitely see you got that wick down a set right there. Don't know. I mean, you could come down farther. Some people think you're going down all the way to these points. I mean, there's a lot of potential spots. I don't even know where I want to draw my line here. Maybe right there, kind of, sort of. I mean, that bounces off on a lot of stuff. Is that a possibility? I mean, I just want to look at, like, if we look at total 3 just in itself here. I mean, here's the place. I mean, here's your kind of double bottom area, I guess. I mean, that work I wouldn't even mess with, but right, yeah, it's kind of that double. Let me see something. Zoom. Big area. I mean, definitely a big area we could look at. I'm just trying to think, trying to line up some of these wicks here and find something. I mean, honestly, probably right here. Yeah, kind of where we are right now is the moment of truth. I mean, are you going to be able to hold this area and break upward for total 3? I think you might be able to. I think you got a decent shot of it. I don't know if you will. I mean, if you lose this, then we're going back down to this area. Probably. There's a little bit right there, but yeah. Too poor for memes. I feel like most of the people buying memes don't have too much money, but then again, there's some whale wallets with meme coins and crap, so yeah. It's just funny because there's like certain investors that are like, at the, so love the technology and all that, and are trying to, make money based on innovation. Then there's just like that other investor is just buying meme coins. And I think a lot of people are a little bit between the two, I guess. Here's the other one everybody's been talking about, Brett. I'm not too familiar with this. I don't know much about it. I know everybody's excited because from past 2 months did pretty well. Although, for a meme coin, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I would argue Brett's probably not the best buy right now, but it's hard to read some of these meme coins. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's not coming up a little bit more here, which is cool. Let's look at Chainlink, which I think Chainlink's another one that's going to do pretty well over. It's the same thing like we were talking about yesterday, just hitting these big points. I mean, can it can it sustain? Can it bounce here? I think there's a decent shot of it, but it's hard to say exactly. I mean, there was 3 times, then you jumped up, so I guess it could be something similar. Bitcoin Cash, that's an interesting one to look at. Some people were kind of sort of excited for this. I mean, if anything already hit its market cycle peak, I would argue it might be this, but I mean, what is it? Just a completely inactive project. I mean, what is there in terms of innovation here? I mean, you could argue a little bit more of an advanced version of Bitcoin, I guess. I don't know. It's an OG coin, or I thought it was around longer in 2017. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at it like this, it would probably keep going. But I mean, based on that trend line, you'd come down. Short term, though, yeah, like everything else, you might bounce. I don't know if I like this as much as the rest of it all. In terms of like the meme coins and stuff, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I guess in terms of there's one argument to make where with all these meme coins and all this shit, you know, you could argue it's like a top indicator. On the other hand, you could argue social risk is still pretty low. Not that many people are tuning in, and like maybe just the meme coins will fail. Or maybe they'll do well. I mean, there's a trigger wave right here. If I was to buy a meme coin, I'd probably bet on Tate, man. I'd probably bet on Andrew Tate, although he's been posting some really weird shit on Twitter lately. I unfollowed him on X. I just don't want that. I think a lot of you guys may know what I'm talking about. I just don't want that coming up on my feed. I don't know. Understand what he's getting out of posting some of this crap, but you know, just the name recognition and all that to trigger wave potentially bring you up. I mean, I could see you generally jumping up higher here. Pepe, yeah. Daddy Tate. I wonder what effects it would have on his reputation, though, if it just goes to zero. I mean, I guess we saw a lot of the stop trading. I thought, wasn't Iggy Azalea's fucking, I don't know, excuse me. Ronin, yeah, I know Roan. I've heard of it, yeah. Nah, now you're starting to get into, I see what you're looking at. Yeah, you're starting to get into the big places here. I mean, the thing, it's one of two things is going to happen, obviously. I mean, it's either going to bounce from this pocket here, or you're going to get another couple yellow X's bring you down to $1 or something. I mean, tough to exactly say. If you really like the project, I do think it's a good idea to potentially buy the dip here. 53% down, although we've seen worse corrections for some other things. Yeah, it could be a potential bottom out place. Yeah, we'll see. It was running. What was another? Curious about the. This was the one you get with the Helium Mobile. I think on every exchange, it's probably just completely gotten obliterated. Yeah, I don't know why I drew so many SR points on this crap, but those are the only two we need right now. Yeah, I mean, came down farther. Maybe down to that point. I don't know. It's hard to say here. 1/10 of a cent. Maybe the 1/10 of a cent is the bottom. Definitely have to see. What was I gonna say? There's a few others I wanted to. Maybe look at render. That's the big place here, the double bottom. I mean, is this the bottom? Do we hold this area or do we lose it? I mean, kind of tough to say, guys. I don't know. There. She's trying. Maybe she has got it in her, maybe. Don't know, though. If you lose that, you're probably going to at least 5 something here. Let's see. So it was render. Excuse me. And all-time history index. Yeah. I mean, the granddaddy of it all. Big spot. You know, here's the big major area. You know, it's just that point. Can we hold that? According to this, yeah, you're getting coming above it, but it's hard to say here. The weekly looks atrocious. I mean, yeah. Tether dominance I would be curious about. Although I don't know if this really tells us too much, but yeah, from the top there, I mean, same thing. I guess it kind of generally always goes up. I mean, if we're able to bet on Tether dominance, I'd probably bet it's going to go up here. Although I don't know if we could leverage trade Tether dominance, but yeah. People have looked at Bitcoin dominance. What was it? Plus ETH dominance. Curious about that. That's interesting. So that'd be, yeah, it's kind of showing us, you know, obviously a time to buy altcoins was, you know, I would say September 2019. That was just a big wick up there. That's interesting though on that monthly. This would be the case for probably at least based on the monthly and that 2-week kind of that both ETH and Bitcoin will still outperform the altcoins for some time. That would be the case that Ben Cowan is right. So there's that possibility. Although, I mean, even you know, let's say it's just like 2019. I mean, you're already almost in July. Let's say. I mean, where was July here? I mean, how much more would you have? Not that much more. You know what I mean? It's a few more weeks. So then getting in there kind of made sense. So I think that this is the place to be. I mean, I'm finishing up my DCAs. I'm going to buy some stuff probably on Monday. Then that's probably it. And then I'm just going to wait and hope for the best. So yeah. I have to look at ApeCoin, which is another depressor. I mean, she's been trying to come back. I think, you know, if we could get a run back above $1, we would be in commission a little bit. I don't know that. I am not completely sure here, but I think this kind of looks better in some other things. NFTs as a whole been risky business lately. If we look at that kind of potential drop there on Mutant Ape Yacht Club, just nothing looks too promising here at the moment. At least, say ApeCoin looks a little bit more promising than that. If we look at let's go here to. Are we able to? Okay, I feel like we got to go to the CoinGecko is where we want to look at NFT floor price charts, which I mean, Bored Ape Yacht Club is still one of the most traded ones. You know, you're getting to that full bubble pop pattern. You're at 90 ETH. You're about to get down to, if you drop down to, let's say, 6 ETH, I mean, potentially a jump up. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of wishful thinking at this point. I mean, it's kind of just, you know, sucking cost fallacy. But then, you know, when no one wants it, when everyone gives up, then that's usually when it does something. I mean, if we look at CryptoPunks, I'm curious about too. Because now it's getting where it's 90 G's, still a hell of a lot of money. At least to the average person, obviously. But I mean, if you were to get back down to like 20 ETH even or something, you know, that's where it would be. Say it's like 60, 70K and then that full bubble pop pattern. Then you do recover back to like, I don't know, 60 something ETH, a 3x against ETH. I mean, even all time, I don't know. You're really, if you buy a CryptoPunk, you're kind of betting that the NFTs have a future as a whole, I would argue. That's what I would say. Same with anything in the Yuga Labs, I would argue. What was that other side? What was the other side? Oh yeah, I think it was this one. Was this the Yuga Labs one? Yeah, I think this is the one that only has gone down. 97% down. I mean, it's kind of all or nothing. for some of these. What are pudgies down from 60% down from all-time high? Pudgies are a different ball game. I would argue Bitcoin puppets. I'm curious about that. That's a ball pop pattern. I mean, if you're going to bet on ordinals, this would be the time to potentially do so. 8 G's is still a lot of money for spending on that crap, though. And then if we go to our mutant apes, yeah, I mean, you're at 5 grand, you know, just depressing as hell with just no. I mean, maybe some big money comes in and buys these up a little bit, gives it a shot. We'll definitely have to see. I mean, they could double pretty quickly if they do end up doing that. But, I mean, 96% down from all-time high. We'll see what happens against ETH. This was another one. Plan E was telling me about this one. 90. Kind of all or nothing on this. I don't think I would bet on this, but yeah, if you look at that 7-day, I mean, this looks pretty dead. But I don't know. Maybe 98. He could come back from 98. It is possible. I wanted to also look at XPRT. That's interesting. It's on. Let me look at it in KuCoin though, but. Yeah, right there. So just nothing yet. But maybe something based on that daily. Maybe a little bit. All the way back down. But yeah, just holding some of these, hoping for something to happen. What was this correction here? It's got to be something insane. Yeah, 70%. I mean, nice even number. Definitely have to see what happens here. What did I wanted to draw. Let me draw on my main chart a little bit of a different. Yeah, I think I cleaned this. I had a line here, but I cleaned it up a little bit. Yeah, that's the big point that we want to kind of look at. And we are holding it somewhat. And that hourly looks good, like we would continue here. So I think that's the main, kind of bullish case to jump up a bit right there. And then if we look at, it's like either like it's actually support or resistance on ETH is a little bit more concerning at the moment. But it's like sometimes at these hours when you're looking at it, you get blue in the face looking at this. I mean, you are rejecting from that point, but it's like maybe you could pull it off based on that. So yeah. Let's see. I don't know here. It's trying to bounce up to that point. ETH Bitcoin's still looking generally strong, I think. So yeah, I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think if there's any other things I want to take a look at. I mean, kind of looked at a lot of them. I'm curious about Shiba. Old but great. That's made a lower low. Definitely not looking as good as the dog we want it to look like. Getting a little old. They get old. They can't jump as high anymore. Could be what's happening here. So yeah. Oh yeah, Atom. Atom is an interesting one to look at because for obvious reasons, huge freaking area. Trying to make a higher low, which I kind of like the argument for that. Do kind of like the argument for trying to make a higher low here. Might be able to pull it off. I don't know. Let's look at VRA. Right there. That's definitely not just not what we wanted here. Yeah, I'm trying to make a higher low though, but this kind of starting to look like a more dead project. I can amp a little bit right there. could be jumping off of there, although this is a shit token and a half. I mean, it's AMP, so yeah, that's that. And by the way, guys, if you want a free month in the Discord, I had to go to ETH Long yesterday. Got another trade that I think should do pretty well here. Check out the link in the description below for the Discord. There is a discount if you go to the support ticket tab and you want to pay in crypto. Also, if you want one free month, if you sign up to any of the links down below, deposit at least $100. I'll give you one free month in Discord. Just open a support ticket with your UID. So yeah. Well, I'm trying to see what we could do here for Avalanche. Sort of a decent point, that kind of that pocket that we could be bouncing off of, hopefully. Yeah, right to that point. Now we're looking a little bit more concerning. It's looking a little bit, I mean, if we were to losing that, potentially like coming back down to this point, that 59. Definitely want to see what happens here. Don't know. I guess that 2-day, these, kind of EMAs potentially coming down. I want to compare this. If you compare it to there, yeah, it was kind of the bottom as you came into the gray. So theoretically, we could have bottomed. If it's like that in last August of 23. That was a boring freaking area. I like the hourly here. But yeah, this is kind of getting repetitive. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. Hopefully we jump up a little bit higher, maybe not. Would be nice to see some more recovery, but maybe not. We'll definitely have to see here. Anyway, guys, really appreciate you guys. If you guys are interested in trading, check out the links down below. Always appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I might go in the chat room for a little bit if anybody wants to chat in the Discord right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Really appreciate you guys.